All right. I believe we're live. At least we have the game on. Okay.
We are all
okay.
set.
Are we all? Can they hear us? Okay. Hello, everybody. My name is SloaTheDemon. I go by a lot of names, but Slow is the most common. So this is Kingdom Hearts Birth by Sleep. This is going to be the Aqua beginner. This one's, I'd say it's one of the trickier runs. The Ventus and Aqua beginners runs are considered kind of like the harder-ish runs to do. So one thing here is that we do differently with BBS is that we don't start time on yes, we start time on when we choose our character, unless we're doing all stories, which this is of course not all stories run. So before we begin though, I do want to say that a lot of the bosses are very intense, so I will try to. So when it comes to donations or anything, it's probably best not to do it during boss fights. Also, they're working on the roof, so expect to hear a lot of drilling, a lot of hammering, and all this fun stuff. So if you hear it, be fair warned.
We'll make sure they know when you're when you're in boss fights so they can chill.
Yep, for sure. Okay, so timing starts on yes right here. So in 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, so first thing I'm going to talk about is the commands in this game. The commands are kind of like are what they changed for like magic and such, like magic and skills and such from the original games. And there's also shot locking, which if anyone's been playing the recent Kingdom Hearts 3, this is where shot locking came from. This is where it originated. And this fight's very, very RNG heavy. There's nothing you can really much do. You just gotta hope you get decent RNG. What? Oh, what? See, again, sometimes the orbs can just do that right there. They just fly across the room. There's not much you can do. If they smack against each other, then they can just you can instantly kill them, kill two of them. So that was really good orbs actually. That was some pretty good orbs. The second one was kind of meh, but the first and third were pretty good. So here it's talking about certain command styles. That's something else we're going to also be abusing throughout the run. Mainly Firestorm and it's called Blade Charge. Those abilities, though we're not going to be having those until a little bit later. Alright, so we're going to make a quick detour over here, and we're going to grab a fleeting crystal. Oop. Oh, okay, that's weird. Doing a lot of KH3 stuff, so it's been kind of rough to try to remember that. So cartwheeling, as much as it's like rolling and sliding is with the other ones, is the fastest method. Of course, sliding dash is even faster, but since it's limited on a cooldown, which all commands are on kind of a cooldown, which is kind of the thing that makes up for not having like MP and stuff like that. So grab this high potion, and then we're gonna grab this slow. This is a slight detour here. This is just mainly just to make up for money. We're gonna be buying a few items. So yeah, it's kind of a small little bit here. So if there's like any promotion, donations, anything like that, it's not really much to talk about here.
Unfortunately, I'm echoing on stream. Unfortunately, I'm echoing on stream, but not the Discord.
Thank
has
you
not
for-
been isolated.
That is my fault. My apologies. There you go.
Okay, in that case, we can definitely talk about the event. Since there's not a lot going on here. So again, we are fundraising currently in order to help send some of our Valkyries to the RPG Limit Break event, trying to raise enough money to pay, hopefully, for hotel, airfare, or any incidentals thereafter. If we happen to fundraise enough to send all of our Valkyries that we're looking to send to the event and still have some left over, that extra money will be donated to our charity partner, Take This. If you do wish to donate, you would do so through the donation link, which we're making sure is in the channel, and you can direct that towards any incentives.
That's unfortunate. So this fight is just RNG. There's not really anything much else to talk about here, except for that it's an RNG fight, and you just gotta hope that you don't get, don't get totally messed up. But I unfortunately triggered these guys. That one was my fault. Those are guys. So that was above average RNG, I would say. It was definitely above average RNG, but unfortunately I triggered some enemies that I wasn't supposed to. As you've seen, I put on Barrier Surge. Barrier Surge is going to be used basically just for this fight right here, and then we're going to be selling it in a couple of areas later. We're also going to be using it for one more other fight, but we're trying to get our command style here. This one is Spellweaver. Okay, well, got RNG. This, we can pretty much stun lock the boss with it, which is what the whole reason we want to do this. This is pretty much the same strat for critical or beginner. There's not strat's just kind of too good not to do it. Okay, so when he goes for this DM right here, I literally cannot stun him, so I just have to avoid it. I have to avoid it the best I can. And that was an alright fight. I wouldn't say it was bad by any means, but it wasn't necessarily that good either. It was alright. Alright, so coming up, this next one is literally just, it's going to be like we're going to go through 2 screens and then we're going to go straight to the boss and then we're going to be done. This was a very short world that we're about to do. The next world though is a bit lengthier. Unfortunately, Dwarf Woodlands is pretty short for Aquas. And sometimes the game can just kind of eat your inputs. So we're going to come over here real quick, make a quick detour, grab the poison here. We're using that for the next boss fight. You might have seen that on the previous fight that I tried to avoid using Thunder. And if anyone's curious why that was specifically, was because if I do it, if I didn't have enough by a certain point, then it was going to give me Thunderbolt over Spellweaver for some reason. Despite that I used multiple different spells, it sometimes will just give you Thunderbolt. So come up here. So kind of a bit of a sequence break. You're not supposed to be able to come here. You're supposed to get this until you get high jump. But we do a bit of a sequence break for that. So I'm going to jump up here for a small little time save. For like half a second or something. And so also I'm going to be opening the menus here while I'm doing a cartwheel. This resets the cartwheel. So I can get a slight, extra cartwheel in there. Make things go slightly faster. Of course, it's only faster if you have to do a menu. It's no point doing it any other time. So we're gonna open this chest just for marathon safety. So that way we can guarantee at least one fire boost. Otherwise, I usually wouldn't grab it. Alright, so here's another boss fight here. This one's arguably the hardest, I'd say. Okay. So I'll try to explain. Okay, so here's a moment I can get second, or not, just kidding, he's going to give me good RNG. So this fight, he can go two different ways. He can either kind of back up and do another attack, this one. So there's two versions of this he can do. He can do this one, or he can go up into the air. We prefer him to go up in the air. This one's a bit harder to work with. Okay. Oh, that's unfortunate. Okay, and this one we can skip a bit. The first cycle of this by just shooting him with a hit. Oh wow, he's one hit away. That's great. All right, so that's the boss fight done. Again, that fight's a bit tricky. I would pretty well, I would say. About as well as you can do it on beginner. Crit, that fight's a lot easier, but crit's also like the easiest category in this game.
Also, just want to give a quick shout out to Omegas and his channel, who have just raided us with a lovely group of folks. So welcome. Please enjoy this game and this marathon.
Yeah, thank you so much for that. Raid Omegas. Something else I want to point out is doing optimal carton wheeling in this game for Aqua is surprisingly difficult. I'm not trying to get praise or anything about doing this, but I found that out and I thought that was quite shocking that it's actually surprisingly difficult to do optimal cartwheeling. Alright, so here we're going to do a quick selling of a lot of this stuff we have here. We don't sell the poison, sell the slow, we sell the two. Okay, potions, okay. Let's try and remember. And then we buy 4 of these. We'll buy 1 of these. There it is. And then we're going to get our inputs 8 while we try to swap to the treasure trove. So here's another nifty kind of sequence break. Again, there's something we're kind of supposed to be able to do on a return visit. Cool. But with the... There we go. Jeez. That was a bit of a... Yeah, so, but yeah, we're supposed to be doing this on a return visit, but we're going to quickly grab the ice barrage there. We're going to go straight into this boss fight. Not this boss fight. This is a kind of a forced fight. So the treasure trove really helps out on damage here. It's surprisingly helpful. Oh. Okay. So again, this is not really too much going on here. It's just we're going to be doing a lot of gathering and a lot of thundering. So that's pretty much all there is to talk about. So again, like got maybe like questions or anything. Oops, I missed one. Any questions or anything like that? Or if we don't look like we have any donations yet so far. So. Must feel like I'm playing Donald. Yeah, so that's one thing is for anyone that hasn't actually played the BBS, like all the characters are kind of almost based around, like have a kind of their own unique styles. You got Aqua, who's based more around magic. You got Terra, who's based more around physical, and then you got Ventus, who's more based around tech. So we're going to jump up in the air, and then we're going to Magnum again. That just kind of snags those guys. Just being a little sneaky. Okay, did that a little early. That's fine. Okay, Prince Charming's gonna... So here we're gonna break this, and this ledge can be really silly sometimes. We're not really actually sure why it does that. Then I'm going to magnet and then push myself over here a little bit. Okay, I'm just gonna run into the pillar. That's fine. Okay. So this fight is very specific on you completing every enemy. So gotta make sure we kill them all before Prince Charming will go for this cure. If you missed some in the previous room, you could also be sitting here wondering where all the enemies that you're missing are. I've had that happen a few times. So that one's... it's clearly alive. Alright, so now we are going to set up these with 2 fleetings, so that way we have 2 magic haste guaranteed. So magic haste in this game, if you guys don't know, is very powerful. Basically what magic haste does is it makes your cooldowns go a lot faster. So now we're heading on to the Dragon Maleficent fight, which is, I'd say, is the hardest early game boss, at least. It's not the hardest boss, but it's hardest early game boss. Magic Mirror is up there definitely as an hard early game boss. Cat's going crazy. So we're gonna kill these guys just for some experience, mainly. If they can drop shimmerings, so which is shimmerings and fleetings, so at least these guys do. These guys have a possibility. I'm just gonna shoot this guy. If he doesn't drop it, I'm just gonna go. I'm already level 4. I should, yeah. Such grace. You're correct. You are correct. All right. So again, this boss fight's pretty tough. Mainly because there's weird hitboxes on the fires, so you can just randomly get hit just because the game just feels like it, and it'll just interrupt your attack. Okay. Now, see, that's what I'm talking about right there. That's exactly what I'm talking about. And the worst part is the fact that you don't have any heals or anything like that. So okay, that was really unlucky. Yeah, if she launches herself up, and when that happens, there's not much you can do. So the shot lock is not that powerful, but oh god. Oh, did she already launch? Oh, she did. All right, so she'll at least do. She usually does at least one of these. You can skip it, but it's very difficult to skip this. So don't expect to see it happen very often. Okay, so you're obviously trying to get her to fall down. She's done with that. There we go. Ooh, that fight is, like I said, that fight is definitely a lot harder than it looks. And I'm not paying attention, so I should be skipping. All right, and so now we're heading off to Radiant Gardens, but we're not going to be there for long. Because we have, because once we go here, we're going to be actually pretty much doing a forest fight, and then we're going to be leaving to do some grinding. So I need to, real quick, I need to equip Magnet, Arrow, and we need to equip Fairy Stars. So Fairy Stars is, oh, I forgot to equip High Jump. Yeah, High Jump is actually, it's very useful and seems super OP. But it starts to kind of balance out as the game goes. So we need to use Grumpy here and get just one banding crystal. We need that for an ability called EXP Walker. So we're going. I thought it was in the cutscene, not here, so here. So this fight can be really annoying, not because the enemies, but because Mickey will just randomly kill the enemies before you can kill them. And we need to kill the enemies because we need the XP. So, oh, and these guys. Yeah, these guys suck. Thank you, Mickey. Okay, well, apparently I'm going to use all my magnets because Mickey is going to push them farther and farther away from my magnet. Because Mickey is very helpful. Again, Mickey is very helpful. There we go. Alright, so I didn't see if I got, but I need Magnet and Arrow to be level 2. If I didn't get them, it's not that big of a deal. So we're gonna go back here real quick, grab this Mind Square. It's not a big deal if we don't grab it now, it's just a minor time loss if we forget to grab it. I did not get it, that's unfortunate. That's okay, there's going to be a way to make up that. We go to the Chateau. Okay, so now we're going to sell the Ice Barrage for some, and then we need how many? Okay, I forgot to bring up my notes, so I need to bring up my notes real quick. It's not where they are.
So while we're just While we're just looking that up, let me just let you know that the next run that's happening here is going to be Final Fantasy VI Glitchless, and we have a whole pile of incentives which are brand new and open for you to donate towards. We are going to suplex the train, as that has already been donated towards. However, you can name all of the characters currently. That is wide open. So if you want someone, say like Terra, Locke, Edgar, any of the other characters to have a name of your choice, you can donate towards that. Shortly thereafter that, this evening, we will be doing a Final Fantasy IV free enterprise run, where you'll be given the opportunity to pick the top 5 names for the party and to donate towards the Zeromus Sprite Bid War.
All right. So now we just need to put on all these fires just bought, and put on the Zero Gravity, and I'm just going to go to the world map, and then I'm going to instantly go back in, but I'm going to go to other one, Palace Chat, the Palace Courtyard. So the reason why we had to do that whole the forced fight first before we came here is because that gives us the Mickey D-Link. So something I didn't explain was about D-Links. D-Links are pretty much like, are known as dimensional links. Are all basically RNG. Apparently I didn't realize I got to level 1 already. They're all, the level ups are RNG. If you get a level up, you cannot get a second level up until you revert. So that's what I needed to do real quick. I also forgot to switch to Destiny's Embrace, which is a very important one to grab. So now we're going to start the grinding. We want to get level 2, but we can do this with level 1. Where is my shield? There it is. Oh, okay, this is good RNG. Holy crap. Alright, so this is why we want... Sign of Faith is pretty much the exact reason why we want level 2. It's because this ability is super powerful. And as you can see, accidentally use the... I'm just going to try and finish through that. Okay, there we go. So yeah, you don't want to do that right there, what I just did. To avoid that, usually you typically just go out of it and then go back in. Oh, okay, I saw I got a second confirmed shimmering crystal. So it looks like I cleared the room already. I wasn't paying attention. So pretty much that's the whole thing, is where we're basically trying to grind to Faraga. So again, perfect time for donations.
Well, that's excellent, because we have, in fact, received one. We received $6 from our very own Scala Kitty saying, since those Final Fantasy VI naming incentives are wide open, here's $4 to name Terra Tina, $1 to name Locke Thief, and Edgar Flirt. So if you don't like those names, you're going to have to donate to change them.
Alright, so you might have seen that I put, I was about to put on the Fire Boost, but then I swapped. Like I said before, the ability to have the magic haste is super powerful. So, and Faraga has a 10% chance of changing into some super rare, amazing, powerful ability that we don't want. We don't want it. We want the Faragas. Oops. Oh, that was unfortunate. So I will try at least go for one without saving, but if the second one, if the first one changes to that 10%, then I'm going to go ahead and make a safety save to make sure that I can continue the run. Because it's one thing to miss one of them, but if you miss both, then the run's just dead. Am I already through the room? I didn't think I did. All right, so we're gonna be doing this a few times. So just need. So we're gonna be doing these rotations for a little bit. I'm getting a lot of fleeting crystals here. Okay, and then I think this is this. So also the reason we also want 2 is because it gives us double experience. Okay, do I already have? Okay, well it's not gonna. Okay. Okay, I'm still a little short. Okay, still a little short on those. That's okay. Okay, didn't get it still. Unless if I did, I wasn't paying attention. Oh, I did get it, okay. Okay, so we're gonna go for this. We're gonna try to get this, okay, we got it. We got one, see if we got the other. If we don't get this one, that's fine. We can still continue the run. We just need at least one. So go through, okay, cool. Awesome.
I just want to let everyone know that, you know what, I don't like Scala's names, even though I love Scala. So I've donated $5 to each of the names in Final Fantasy VI to have them named Ultros. So if you don't want every single character to be named Ultros, get your donations in.
Sounds pretty good to me, actually.
Right? I'm sure Takaze would love calling everybody Ultros.
Okay, so here now we're just going for level 16, in which we have gotten. So we need, I believe it's level 16. I'm gonna check. It says in the notes. I'm just gonna double check. Or should be level 16. Yeah. Okay. Apparently they took it out of the notes at some point or something. It doesn't say it in the notes. That's fine. So we're gonna go off the assumption that it is supposed to be 16. That's fine. I mean, we're doing a lot of extra walking anyway with the with the EXP walker and such. We find. So just for extra XP there a little bit, just to be safe. But that was some really good RNG. That was like that. Sometimes you can just be sitting there for minutes without getting a level 1. So getting the level 1 like first wave was insane, and then getting it pretty much second wave right after was really insane. And also getting my crystals I needed. Sometimes you can just walk away with no shimmering crystals. I've had that before too. So this is some insanely good luck. So this boss is really simple. So if you and you have any more donations, go right ahead. This fight's pretty easy. This fight's pretty easy.
Nice. So we got a $20 donation from Leggy Starscream saying, "Oh, I've got opinions about those names, all right. $5 to naming Terratina, $6 to name Celeste Maria, $6 to name Cyan Mr. Thou, and the remaining $3 to bullying the robot in Final Fantasy I randomizer. I think we can arrange that."
So yeah, as I said, this fight is extreme for good reason. It's because we're completely over leveled. for this fight. The game does not expect this to be this low, this setup. But we're setting up, but everything we just did was pretty much for the end game. So that's kind of why we're... I'm also not getting what I'm supposed to be getting here. That's fine. Okay, that fight was pretty mediocre. It wasn't bad by any means, it just wasn't great either. Also, I can take this off now and place it with Mind Square. I'm supposed to. So for most of the run, this is going to be pretty much our setup. We are going to be buying a couple more Faragas. As you can tell, that is going to be pretty much our entire damage of the run is just going to be Faraga. So having both fire boosts is really, really good. So I could use the D-Links here to kind of... I could use Terra's D-Link to kind of... to get a little more move, but it doesn't make too big of a difference, and you can only use one pretty much right there. So this fight is pretty tough actually, because it's kind of RNG. He's very inconsistent. He's a very inconsistent fight. Okay, cool. He's behaving, at least, for the most part. Sometimes he won't. Okay, still got him. Okay, one more hit. There we go. Okay, so pretty much the whole strat there is to basically get him in a Magnera loop and basically keep him in place. Because sometimes he will break out of it if you're too slow with Magnera. And that pretty much means that you probably didn't get enough fleeting crystals. So you typically should have, but you should typically have 4 magic hastes. So that means you should be fine. You can do the fight with 3, but it's just a lot more trickier. So now it's time for everybody's favorite minigame. Fruity Ball.
It's definitely my favorite.
Yeah, I actually enjoy this. So pretty much the whole goal here is to shoot the fruits into the other person's goal. We got it. So this is pretty easy to pull off, as you might guess. Some of the enemies will actually even knock it in their own goal, which is pretty funny. But ideally, we just want to get, we want to try and get to at least, like 15 to 20. I typically try to go for 20 just to be super safe, because I've had a lot of points where they've kind of just, they've gotten to 15 before. Mainly because I just kind of let the game just kind of sit there, and afterwards I just kind of like, if I can hit the... But they, with some pretty good shots, they can get pretty close to beating you. With some pretty good shots, but you have to be slightly careful. Oh, that was fail. Okay, so we're at 16 now. Again, okay, so now we can just kind of chill out here. I can catch up with the chat. So yeah, we got about a minute to just kind of sitting here for no reason.
And watch Aqua get beat up by random giant fruits, which seems really mean, actually.
It's okay. Sometimes they'll see. Like, look at that. I made like 16 points and then stopped, and now I'm at 19. So this is what I'm talking about. They can literally just accidentally just shooting it into holes, which is pretty funny. Like they shot like they shot 3 of them. Oh, I gotta press. Oh, you're right. I gotta press the triangle button. That didn't work, guys. We got the 20th point.
And speaking of points, we just got a $15 donation from Casual Geek Dave, which says, "So much love for all of the Valkyries. How can I not donate? $15 to name Celeste, Margie." So thank you so much for that donation. And to remind everyone, we are fundraising here in order to get money to help send some of our Valkyries to RPG Limit Break. 2 of our number, at least, are actually running in that event. So we want to try and help as many of us as possible to get there. So we appreciate anything you can do to help, and you can donate to so many of our fun donation incentives. Currently, we're trying to make sure that every character is named Ultros, and you have 6 characters. If you decide you don't like Ultros, I don't understand why you wouldn't, but you know, in case you don't.
Yeah. And so there's a way to like not have all the like the maximum amount of cutscenes there, but I don't have it set up myself, so it's not that big a deal. It's only like 2 seconds or something. So here we're gonna go to Olympus. We're only gonna be doing like partial of it, and then we're gonna be coming back later. As you can tell, I don't want these guys to be. I don't want Hurt to be taking the enemies, so it's a bit annoying if he kills them. Because if he kills them, then I don't get the CP for it, or the experience for that matter, which can be a problem too. Okay. So if I remember correctly, we ideally want to be 20, I think it's like level 21. If I remember correctly, it's like level 20, it's around level 21 that we ideally want to be. Alright, so now we're going to quickly grab this cure. You can just buy a cure, but I'm not a big fan of that, so I just pick up the cure there. Oops. So this is what is known as 10 rounds. This fight, as the name entitles, goes for 10 rounds. Okay, awesome. That spell. Okay, so I wanted the Spellweaver there. Hoping to like not hopefully not go to Blade Charge here. Oh, I still got it. It's unfortunate. Spellweaver finisher makes the area makes the that was not what I do. Makes the final round a lot easier. That's pretty much what I was trying to say that entire time. What? How are you not getting that? That is the questions we ask of that. Oh, right by sleep, right there. This man is just standing under the magma and not being taken. That is the questions we ask. Okay, cool. I got the spell weaver. So I do not want to use it. So I do want to be careful here. Again, apologize for the working on the roof, and there's not much I can do about it. Alright, so this is the final round. It's a bunch of jellies. This fight can be super monk-ad if you're not careful. Oh wow. And sometimes they can just go straight like that. But you can usually just one cycle that fight, just with that alone.
And speaking of one-cycling fights, we got a $50 donation from Tina Hacks, which says, "Letting my evil out early. This is to name Cyan single." Well, darn. That hurts. That hurts in my special place.
I was about to say that it's like surprisingly enough. I'm drilling a lot, but then instantly goes into a drilling. Okay, so this fight is super awkward. We used to do like a Thundaga route, but then we just swapped to all Faragas. And I can safely say that having the Thundaga was made these fights a lot easier. But Faraga is just better in so many different ways. So here we're going to be doing another cult classic mini game here. This one we like to call it Gotcha Take That. So if anyone is unfamiliar with the speedrun of this game, you are in for a treat. So, but if you are familiar with this run, please spam with me. Oh, that was rude. Oh, don't hit me in that, please. Wow, they are being super aggressive today. Jeez, being super aggressive today. Where are they going? Okay. That is the fight. So that fight's very annoying in both sound wise and fighting in general. Okay, well, I am not doing very well in killing these guys. Oop. Don't have air slide on yet. Yeah, so we need to kill these guys so we can enter this portal here and here. And so here we're going to be fighting alongside another buddy. that Stitch here is going to help us out. But not really, because he's just going to randomly kill enemies. We don't need them killed. Okay. Okay. And he will also skewer our camera, trying to do a reaction command that, again, we don't want to do. There we go. Yeah, it's like the parable of Kingdom Hearts. Exactly. All right, so here we're going to sell. Quickly, it's sell everything here, right? Sell magnetic, anything extra. Arrow is extra. Rocket. Fire dash is. Should have enough though. Buying 2 Faragas. And 2 Ignites. Okay, so we've just officially gotten a bunch of abilities. I'm just going to. There we go. I also forgot to equip air slide. We want air slide for specific, very obvious reasons. So unfortunately, we have to turn on turn off the gravity. There's a sliding dash over here. Goes straight into the boss fight. Yep, exactly. We're buying all these Faragas because we like to watch the. I mean, we need it for optimal strats. Alright, so that is Gantu. Gantu is not too bad. Not too horrible of a boss fight. He can be a bit of a pain, but he wasn't too bad this time. So now we're gonna go complete Olympus. We just got a couple of boss fights we gotta do. Correctly, one we have to fight Zack here. Zack is again not too difficult boss fight. Scarlet's on fire. Definitely, he's one of the easier boss fights. I did that I got greedy there. That was my fault. Pretty greedy. Also, we got a lot of extended. Okay, so now we have to fight. We gotta fight Hades and the Ice Titan. It's again, this fight's pretty simple. It's the in-game meta. So but the next bosses that we're going to be doing, like the next bosses, arguably the hardest bosses in the game. So this fight, Hades can DM. We're just hoping he doesn't. There we go. Awesome. Got him before he got into a DM. All right, so we're on to the second. This is the last Disney World, but it's like the second to last world. I don't count Incense Tower as a world myself, but if you count that, then it's the third last. But we're not really doing much against it. But if you got time for if you got plenty of time for donations.
Excellent. I was just about to ask. We have a $10 donation from Leggy Starscream saying, "Oh, another quick donation. $10 to name one of the FF4 randomizer characters Stella, after someone I know who finally found her name." And we received a $15 donation from Margaret Ann saying, "Where would a general be without a treasure hunter? $15 to name Locke, CG Dave." Thank you both for your generous donations.
Alright, so here, there's not really much to talk about here. We're just going to be doing some hopping, like it's Mario, but it's except it's Kingdom Hearts, so I don't really know where I was going with that, to be 100% honest. Okay, and I fell off. That's unfortunate. So. But what we need to do is we need to make a quick detour here because we need to get our last Faraga. Press the wrong button. Okay. Can I make it this? Yes, I can. Awesome. Alright, so now that we got our last Faraga, to get into here, and we just went into a big giant circle. But that's okay. We're gonna go ahead and really quickly equip. Stuff here. Okay. So this is arguably the hardest Ventus fight, I'd say. The Venatus fight is a little simpler, but this one's definitely the hardest because since you don't have Magnera like the first one, it's very hard to get to land hits on him, as he'll do stuff like that. Okay, cool. You can't just roll. You can also just roll that attack to make him okay, can I please target him? Thank you. Yeah, the game will just not let you target him when he's doing that. This fight is a bit tough, as you can see. So I just swapped over there real quick just to heal, because I was about to die. that one just got straight up 8. So it's RNG how many times he'll do. He'll do it at a max. He'll do he'll do 3 of them. So far he's done that attack twice, and he did it all 3 times. He did it. Oh come on, please don't die. You're right here. Oh my goodness. Okay, that was very monk ass. Fight again. It's very, very, very scary.
I think it gets even scarier with the drill noises.
Yeah, the drill noises probably don't help very much, I'm sure. So unfortunately, this is not PB pace, if anyone's curious. I think it was mainly the Venatus fight that kind of threw that away, fortunately. Okay, so we got more cutscenes coming on, so again, great time for donations.
Well, we don't have any donations right now, but I can definitely tell you some more about this event for those who have joined us since we started. This is RPGs We Love 2. We're doing it again after its success last year. We are fundraising in order to raise money to send some of our RPG Valkyries to the RPG Limit Break event in May. In fact, two of our Valkyries are even running a game in that event. So any money we get will go towards hotels, flights, incidentals, that sort of thing. If we do just happen to raise enough and to have any extra, that will go to our charity partner, Take This. That being said, only donations count towards the fundraising. Any bits and subs, though very generously received, will go towards our partner, Take This. But subbing to our channel does give you access to a whole lot of new emotes, which Scala Kitty worked very diligently on over the last few weeks. So definitely want to check those out. They're super adorable. Lots of incentives which you can check out in order to put that donation money towards. Right now, the next run is Final Fantasy VI Glitchless, where we have lots of name incentives open. In fact, about 75% of the characters are currently going to be named Ultros, unless you donate $6 or more towards some of the names. Though some of the names do have actual other money on them, but you could rename those. Plus, the next game to donate towards after that is Final Fantasy IV Free Enterprise, some naming incentives, and you could choose the Zeromus sprite in a bid war.
Alright, so what I tried to do there is I tried to do the tornado skips, but for some reason it has been acting up for me. It's not playing nice, so hopefully I can get the other ones though. I'm smashing here at this point. Okay, so how the tornado skip works is that you aggro onto one and then while another one is chasing you, and oh my god, almost while another one is chasing you, and then from there pretty much it resets, and then you can just completely skip all the tornado fights. Unfortunately, for some reason, I didn't act the other one when I went past it. It's really weird, kind of the where the hitboxes for those are. So unfortunately, I didn't hit it. So this is another really tough boss fight. This is the break fight. Why this fight's just really tough is mainly just because Break can have just a ton of just random iframes. Just a ton of random iframes. Oops. See? he can do stuff like that, just randomly teleport everywhere. So he's being nice right now. So he's being really nice actually. Oh, so if he goes. When he goes for that, you have to basically attack him, and then he'll do like a million teleports, and then he'll do this attack. Like, so he was really, really nice here. Alright, so final boss time. Yeah, I'm not very confident with this fight. This fight can just really troll you. So this is Venatus. Don't mistake it with Venatus. This is Venatus. This is basically Ventus and Venatus. Oh, what the heck? I wasn't curious. What the heck? Oh, what's going on, son? Do not ask me what was going on outside. No. But pretty much. What's okay? Okay, can we not? There we go. Pretty much. Ventus has been taken over by Venatus. And they have fused together to create Venatus. Oh. Okay. We are almost done with this fight. So time is coming up. So we're doing time. Do get ready on time. If I can get him to cooperate, just for time. 1:05:15. That's not bad. Not bad for
Congratulations.
Or 1:05:20. Versus delay. That's fine. Either way, thank you guys for checking out the run, checking out the marathon. Make sure to hang out. There's still plenty of a lot more runs coming. But I will be back. I think it's a couple days from now to do another run. But catch you guys then. You guys enjoyed?
Yes, thank you so much for coming out and running this amazing game for us. We are getting ready now for our next run. That will be Final Fantasy VI, run by Takaze TV. So while we're getting set up here, we're going to just let you listen to some music. We're going to relax. We are going to be chilling. Well, we will be chilling, but we're going to be changing hosts. Natara, me, is going to be stepping away and letting Hexed Girl, which is Hex, take over. And we will be also switching restreamers, so don't panic if you see the stream go down. We'll be back up shortly.